Hi, it's Kevin May, Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire. So, hi, we're joined by Dan Rogoski. You're the President and Chief Revenue Officer of the ride.
I am, yeah.
Off stage, you were saying this is the next generation attraction activity. That's quite a lofty thing to say. So tell us a little bit about what the ride is and why it's so unique.
Yeah, it's very unique. We're only in New York City right now, and the ride is a traveling theater. So we turn the streets of New York into the stage, and we do that on a 49-seat bus that is facing sideways. So we have floor-to-ceiling glass windows. All 49 people face the sidewalk, hosted by two comedic hosts on board the bus, and on a 75-minute journey through Midtown Manhattan and Times Square, we put on street performers that entertain the bus, both from a visual standpoint and an audio standpoint. And then on board the bus, we have surround sound, we have 40 LED screens, 40 TV screens, 3,000 LED screens, and it's really a traveling theater. Underneath the bus is powered by enough equipment to run a small Broadway show.
Okay, so you said that when we were talking earlier, that there's nobody doing this,
right.
And that's because you've patented this idea.
So we do. So we hold the global patent on the sideways seating bus. The only way to do this experience is to turn the bus sideways and face the street, or face the sidewalk.
So have you had buses retrofitted, or are these ones that have been made uniquely just for you?
Uniquely just for us. So they're all customized specifically for us.
Okay.
Yep. And we have 4 in our fleet right now.
4, okay.
4.
So how many tours are you doing a day?
So anywhere from, at this time of year, we're doing about 12 a day, 12 departures a day. In December, we'll do 25 departures a day. Okay. So it's a very, very popular experience in New York.
So I'm quite fascinated by this. So tell me, how do you coordinate? So you've got a bus going through Manhattan.
Correct.
And last time I was in Manhattan, there are some traffic issues fairly frequently. How do you make sure that your performers on the street are ready and waiting for when the bus comes, and how do you deal with traffic that's behind you?
We've got a very talented team of technicians and management that are behind the scenes. So we have a ride manager who's in the office of all time, has up the computer with Google Maps, and we get alerts for any street closures, and it's really a coordinated effort amongst probably about 10 people at any given time to make sure that the hosts and the performers are where they need to be. We have a proprietary technology platform that allows our hosts to see where the bus is, allows our performers to see where the buses are, and the host then confirms to the performers on where to be at what particular time, so that they're not completely surprised, they are aware that the bus is coming.
So tell me, what kind of performances are they? I mean, I'm imagining fire jugglers and singing and...
Yeah, no, we have a belter and a saxophone performance over on 7th Avenue. We have a tap dancer down 42nd Street. A ballerina with a lit up dress at night, which is absolutely beautiful, around Columbus Circle. We have a rapper who can turn any situation that comes his way into a rap in a very funny and a humorous way. Very, very talented people. Many of our performers then go on to Broadway or do traveling national performances as well.
So the bus is sealed, it's not open on the side because you would be open then to the elements and things like that. So how do you... Is it just done through speakers and wireless? The performance outside is going to be fairly noisy, but if you're inside the bus and it's behind a screen, you can't hear it. So are they all sitting there with headphones on? How does it work?
No, so they're all coming through the speakers on the bus through the surround sound. So each of our performers have wireless mics, and they're just like this. They're just singing into it or playing into it, and it just comes right through to the onto the bus through our technology on there.
So started in New York. It sounds like it's a fairly cost-heavy business because you've got all those performers and different people, and you said it's a fairly sizable operation.
Correct.
But you've also said earlier that you want to expand.
Correct.
So that's probably is it a difficult thing to do given the breadth of people that need to be involved to make this work?
So the concept is not difficult. The concept makes a lot of sense to a lot of people because you're changing the way that people are sightseeing. We're sort of the next generation of the way people want to experience a city. Yep. We can tell a story through our technology and through our performances that other attractions can't. The challenge is getting people to think in a very, very different way. So everybody knows a double-decker bus. Oh, you're a bus. You're you're just a different type of bus company. We're not. We're a theatrical performance on a bus. But not only that, but we also have other technology like virtual reality. So,
Right.
so we've created a virtual reality experience in Lower Manhattan called the Downtown Experience, where everybody who gets on board gets a Samsung headset, and we tell them at various points in time, 5 to 7 different moments on a 90-minute experience, when to put on the headset. And when they put on the headset, they're transported back into 1890 as a
Okay.
6-year-old little girl on an immigrant boat coming across the Hudson River, seeing the Statue of Liberty for the first time, or at Federal Hall where George Washington was sworn in 1789. We see him arriving with his entourage to Federal Hall. And then 1929 stock market. We recreate that moment of what it was like that day when the stock market crashed, and that's all done through virtual reality.
So
no
that's-
one else is doing that.
So presumably you would have had to make the films for that
Correct.
as well. So how long did that take?
So it was probably a 6
And how
to
did you
9
get the
month.
scenes for that?
So it was done through green screen and through period costuming and actors and actresses. Some of them were done through CGI as well. But we have a production team out in Red Hook, Brooklyn, and this is what we do. This is part of our overall business, is to really change the way that people sightsee in any given city.
What do people that are just walking along the pavement or sidewalk,
And then
as you
you're
would
seeing
call
this.
it, and they're seeing, all of a sudden there's an opera singer singing to a
Yeah.
bus, so they kind of
They couldn't care less in New York
Right.
City.
Well, that's very
and
true.
that's part of the excitement of all, because you're sitting on board and you're seeing somebody perform and you're watching hundreds of people walking by and not caring at all. And that's just what makes New York, New York.
right.
Yep.
So, what cities would you like to go into?
So we think it's a perfect opportunity to go into any major city. London.
I suppose presumably one that's got a lot of cultural references, so that you can
Absolutely.
mix things up.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
we could tell the story through performance that way. But internationally, London, Tokyo, Paris make a lot of sense. Sydney, and then here domestically, Las Vegas, Hollywood. There's some
You've
really
got a lot
key
of things
cities.
in Vegas to compete with on the street. as it
But I
is
think
already.
we're so unique and so different that we could really stand out.
Right. And I've certainly buskers, as we call them in the UK, street performers, they need licenses and things like that. Do you have to go through a fair amount of regulatory hurdles with the local authorities before you can start throwing a theatre troupe on the sidewalk?
So in New York City, it does not require any extra permitting.
Okay.
All it requires is getting bus stops, and that's done through the normal process through DOT and Department of Consumer Affairs. In other cities like London, you do need to be licensed in order to busk on the street. Las Vegas does not allow it, but if we partnered with a hotel, we could pull onto private property and do the performance on there. So what if MGM, wanted to highlight one of their newest shows coming in, where they can come out and do it for the bus in a 2-minute vignette
Right.
and really create a demand for that type of experience.
So, how are you selling these? You're doing it through partners, through hotels within New York, or do you sell through online travel agencies and things
Yeah,
like that?
so we do OTAs, we do online travel agencies, we do receptive operators. We have a really big business with corporate, doing very unique, different corporate initiatives.
Okay.
So, for instance, Pepsi, we could have all our performers in Pepsi wardrobe drinking Pepsi cans, and we had a CEO of a Fortune 500 company dress up like Elvis Presley and did an Elvis Presley performance on the street for his top 50 sales folks on board the
that
bus.
would be perfect
It
here
would
in
be-
Vegas, right?
Vegas would be great for this type of thing. So yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of opportunity.
Dan Rogoski, thank you very much
Thank
for
you so
talking.
much.
Very interesting.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.